You're about to listen to 13 keys to take control of your life. A calm, quiet journey through simple but powerful ideas designed to help you feel more focused, more confident, and more at peace with the direction of your life. This is an ASMR audiobook, so find a comfortable place, put on your headphones if you like, and let the soft voice and slow rhythm guide you not to escape from your life, but to gently step back into it with more clarity and intention. No pressure, no rush. Just one key per day, spoken softly, like a quiet conversation with a friend who believes in you. Before you fall asleep, make sure you subscribe and drive the nail of decision into your mind gently, deeply, calmly. One small click, one lasting change. Now close your eyes. Breathe. Let the voice guide you. 13 keys to take control of your life. We have chosen to present you with 13 actions to implement in order to considerably improve your life. It's possible you are already doing all of them. And if that's the case, then you have a quality of life superior to 90% of the population, and we congratulate you. This guide is presented as one piece of advice per day. You won't be able to implement all of these actions immediately, but little by little. Each day, discover an idea and focus on that specific point, working honestly until you have accomplished it. Once done, you will move on to the next. Many behavioral neurology scientists agree that a habit, good or bad, is formed over a period of 21 to 30 days, depending on the individual. This gives you an idea of the repetition, and therefore the commitment required for any change. These simple tips, if implemented, have the power to significantly increase your quality of life. You have nothing to lose by trying, so believe in yourself and your potential. Finally, do not hesitate to contact us with your questions or to share your progress and changes. If you truly change your life, it is entirely possible to give a full testimonial on Vi Explosive. But first, let's work together. Charles and Christophe, Day 1. How to define your goals. We discovered the beginnings of this first advice long before each of us got into personal development. We have all one day committed to losing weight, changing an attitude, or taking up sports again. This kind of action is either triggered by an alert following a bad attitude that led to a disastrous result, or during traditional New Year's resolutions, often associated with that willingness to commit to changing certain things. Reality proves to us every day that these resolutions are not kept over time. There's no need to wait for the beginning of the year to make a good resolution, to set a goal. Not having a goal is like being at sea without a rudder to guide you. With luck, you'll end up on a deserted island. With a great deal of luck, you'll end up in a nice place. But the primary interest of wanting to reach a specific destination cannot be fulfilled. It is essential to set goals correctly. The SMART method is one of those we appreciate and seems the simplest to put into practice. It breaks down into 5 complementary modules. Specific goals should not be formulated vaguely. It must be precise. For example, being rich is not specific. Having 1 million euros in assets is precise. It's clearly defined. A goal is formulated in the present indicative, carefully avoiding negations. For example, on December 31, 2011, I no longer smoke. Say instead, on December 31, 2011, I have definitively stopped smoking. Measurable, you must know when you have achieved it, or when you are at 50% of your goal. It must be in terms of quantity, time, and if possible, contextualized. Achievable, if it seems a little difficult, break it down into several sub-goals. It will seem much simpler. Be careful, your goal should be a little ambitious. It should provoke a slight discomfort in you. Otherwise, you will realize that this goal, once achieved, will not have allowed you to grow or truly progress, but at most satisfy your routine-driven ego. Realistic, don't set yourself unattainable goals either, such as, for example, next year, I'll win the lottery. A goal must depend only on you, on your ability to act, to become better. Time-bound. You must have a deadline. Otherwise, you might procrastinate and never accomplish it. If a deadline is written down, it will encourage you to action because you have committed to respecting a time frame. An operating method is necessary when defining goals. Knowing that optimizing your future requires working on 1, 3, 5, and 10-year goals. This year's goals will be broken down into several actions to be carried out each month, even each week, and undoubtedly each day. You must break them down so that it isn't too unpleasant and doesn't discourage you. He who moves the mountain starts by removing the small stones. It is important to act, particularly in these 4 areas: finances, relationships, professional, health. Don't set too many goals at once. Following 3 goals simultaneously is a pace accessible to everyone. Once a goal is achieved, it is necessary to define another, always in the same area, so that you get into the habit of progression and optimizing your potential. It is easier to do a job than to explain why you didn't do it. Martin Van Buren, Day 2. How to outsmart the traps of a routine mindset. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a very important thing: doing what you love and loving what you do. To fully flourish, it is essential to create a positive atmosphere within yourself, especially when your job isn't your passion. Dragging your feet to work doesn't allow you to create that necessary conducive condition, that positive mindset of accomplishment that will make your task easier. Explanation: approaching any task negatively locks you in, reduces your ability to see opportunities, to perceive what could make the task more enjoyable, and accomplish it optimally. We offer you 2 solutions. 1, change your mindset. Invest yourself wholeheartedly in your work and love it, really. Your management can only view this progressive and self-enhancing attitude favorably. To evolve, you must know how to make yourself indispensable. Train yourself. Think about what you can improve in your skills, or what dynamic contributions you can bring to your company, and do it. For example, in the marketing sector, there are many books rich in various information that you might be unaware of. Self-train to progress. After integrating enough knowledge, let your company benefit from it. You will emerge greater, and one day discover that your boss has planned a promotion for you. To change jobs. Take the leap. Choose an activity, a profession that you truly enjoy, not a default activity. This will create a renewal, a discovery, a drive towards smiling, towards the pleasure of going to work. You will no longer be driven by stress, bitterness, or boredom, but by curiosity, excitement, and a feeling of accomplishment essential for any human being. Working in your passion would obviously be a must. We all agree. Many fields could surely please you, attract you. Today, we have an incredible range of different, fulfilling jobs. So take this step and change your daily life. This daily life is your life, your reality, not your boss's, but yours. You must find an activity that gives you pleasure, even at the expense of a slight drop in salary. What you feel is what matters. Going to work with a smile attracts new opportunities to us and creates good emotions synonymous with health. Being happy to contribute your best to our world and filling your home with refreshing good humor are guarantees of a serene and promising daily life. It is obvious, and you will easily agree, that it is much more pleasant to live with a person who flourishes in their activity, who shares their joys, accomplishments, discoveries and achievements, rather than a sad person blaming their colleagues and superiors, justifying their mistakes probably due to a lack of concentration, certainly because there's no more pleasure, or systematically explaining that the boss who provides this job is an exploiter without human values. Changing jobs isn't simple, I admit. Leaving everything to start your own business, even less so. However, it is doable. Many breakthroughs are possible. You need to be curious and often bold. But do you really want to give yourself the means to live a life you love? The one you dreamed of during your childhood nights? Or that same one, perhaps, that you secretly continue to nurture today? Today, managing your career will no longer be just managing a past, but above all anticipating a probable future. Anonymous. Learn to surround yourself with the right people. Today, we are going to ask you to do something unusual that might destabilize some of you. Analyze your circle of influence. We are the average of the 5 people we frequent the most, said Jim Rohn, author of the bestseller Strategies for Prosperity and mentor to Anthony Robbins. There's a strong chance that frequenting so-called negative people, that is, those naturally inclined towards criticism and mockery, will make you negative in turn by a mirror effect. For example, to help you understand the impact of the mirror effect, when we ask people who smoke who they started with, the majority answer, with friends. Obviously, we are not asking you to stop seeing your friends, but to become aware of the influence they have on your habits and rituals that make up your reality. Do you live unconsciously by proxy, under the cover of influential people with stronger characters than yours, a dominant identity? Or do you truly live for yourself? Ask yourself this very important question honestly. Accomplishing your goals requires you not to be influenced by unenthusiastic people who go against your values, and those goals so important to you, representing your life. To do this, Jim Rohn suggests giving your friends a rating using this very relevant value scale. Between 0 and 5, these people are too often negative, have little ambition, complain almost habitually, or cruelly put others down to dominate. No longer frequent them or sharply limit their company. From 6 to 7, at this level, we find people who might drag you down or be going through a temporary rough patch. They might need help. Help them get back above 7. But don't lose all your energy doing it. From 8 to 10, at this level, you will be lucky to encounter people who boost you, motivate you, who are behind you when you undertake something. Their cheerful attitude and positive approach to things regularly bring you energy, drive, and confidence. Frequenting these people allows you to see life from a spring-like angle where solutions bloom at every moment. They are very easy to recognize. They are animated by a driving and unifying optimism. Your goal will therefore be to be, personally, above 7, and also for your circle of influence to be so. If you have followed, or will follow, our previous advice, then you will not have too much trouble enjoying the company of these people who exchange energy. Day 4. Some simple ways to get organized. Today, we will address a key point in any success: organization. A lack of organization can make you spend 3 times more time than necessary on a given project. If that project is to change your life, then you will need a structured action plan. To avoid procrastinating and be more efficient, it is necessary to learn to master lists. Easy-to-use tools, like to-do lists, are within everyone's reach. They allow you to have a clearer vision of daily or weekly tasks to be performed. Prioritizing associated with a completion date proves wise and will push you to take action. Start, for example, by doing what is quick. You can also postpone actions you couldn't complete the day before. These should be done as a priority the next day, in the blink of an eye. A clear and precise vision of remaining tasks on site, thanks to these simple yet powerful techniques, allows you to carry out your day in complete serenity. Using an agenda is highly recommended because you must optimize the accomplishment of your day. It will help you implement your daily, weekly, and/or monthly action plans. Your action plans will, of course, be proportional to your projects. If you want to create a business, these plans will certainly be work on which you will need to spend a lot of time to give yourself the best chance of success. These plans fit into the continuity of your goals and can also be applied every day for small things using lists or mind maps. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Franklin Roosevelt. Perfecting your memory allows you to work much more efficiently. Reading, playing chess, learning, or acquiring new skills is ideal for progressing in this area. If you wish to delve deeper, there is the GTD method, getting things done. Day 5, 3 fundamentals for good health. Today, a subject particularly close to our hearts, health. Like many of us, we aim to live long and in good health. Everyone is aware of the importance of health, yet the daily attitude of some casts doubt on their true understanding of its importance. Your body is your means of transport, the only one, the unique one you will ever have. Undoubtedly, you need to take care of it. There are several angles of attack to optimize your health. 1. Diet, the most important in my eyes. Poor diet generates numerous illnesses. This has become a public health problem since fast food became unavoidable. We must eat to live, not live to eat. Eat more vegetables and less meat, especially red meat. Avoid hydrogenated fats found in all prepared dishes and in general in everything refined. Prioritize home cooking by learning to make healthy dishes using olive oil. Cooked butter should be definitively avoided. Sugar is and remains a danger for each of us. The foods we consume regularly contain sufficient quantities to meet our needs. Since we are what we eat, another simple tip: use spices. This richness of our diversity, some have proven healing virtues, such as turmeric, which you have certainly heard of. Spices give flavor to our food and make us travel. They give us ideas and sharpen our culinary creativity. Quick family recipe to make broccoli sexier. One of the best vegetables for humans, with preventive properties against certain cancers. One nice head of broccoli, a little garlic, pepper, fleur de sel, turmeric, soy cream, and a little olive oil. Steam your broccoli for about 5 minutes to retain firmness, and thus the nutrients and numerous vitamins of this gift of nature. Add 2 dashes of olive oil to the bottom of a wok with 2 finely chopped garlic cloves over moderate heat to avoid burning. Toss the broccoli florets into the hot wok, then season with the spices, making sure to stir-fry rhythmically to avoid burning the preparation. Serve, taste, you will be surprised. Knowing how to allow yourself occasional pleasures is not forbidden, but moderation and self-responsibility remain essential. 2. Sports. Sport allows you to regain self-confidence, expend energy, clear your head, eliminate toxins, burn fat, and build muscle. 2 main types emerge. Cardio-type sports like cycling, jogging, swimming, which work the heart, and explosive sports that allow you to work anaerobically, another type of work where effort cannot be sustained. A balanced practice of these 2 types is recommended to build endurance and tonicity. Clear signs of good health. 1 hour twice a week is already a frequency that can pay off. You can also walk more than usual, take the stairs, agree to play with your children, etc. 3. Stress. is the evil of our century. It causes depression, cancer, and blockages. There are several very effective methods to reduce and combat it. Meditation, sport, laughter. It's up to you to find yours. Taming your stress is possible nowadays. Many specialists have already found solutions that prove truly effective over time. Day 6, you too overflow with energy. If you are now taking care of your health, you should feel a surge of energy. To increase it further, there is still one way: good sleep management. Let's go into more detail about the sleep mechanism. What exactly is it for? Sleep regenerates us. This important stage of a 24-hour day allows this essential process of cell regeneration. Dreams are the fuses of our brain. Without dreams, madness awaits us. Even if the memories of your dreams remain quite vague or almost non-existent, you dream every night. Your sleep is broken down into cycles. They last about 1 hour 30 minutes, varying from person to person. A cycle is composed of a phase of light sleep, one of deep sleep, and one of REM, rapid eye movement sleep. It is during this REM sleep that we dream. To understand its importance, waking up during REM sleep creates that unquenchable fatigue that drags you into that unpleasant feeling of having gotten out of bed on the wrong foot. So, it's important to sleep well and in sufficient quantity. Studies show that the optimal duration is about 7 hours 30 minutes. Calculate your cycles to avoid waking up during REM sleep and enduring that magnificent day that awaits you. If you have energy to spare, your projects will be accomplished faster. Day 7. Improving your attitude towards events. We all have a way of reacting to things that happen to us. This way of reacting is attitude. It is important to master it to avoid being dominated by events, to avoid suffering them. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react. How do you react when something negative happens to you? Do you focus solely on your instantaneous reaction? Or do you try to find the positive aspect of this compromised situation and manage to come out a winner? Positive thinking has often been criticized to the point of being called naive. But today, it is entering hospital environments under the scientific name of psychoneuroimmunology, PNI. To help you understand its influence, let's look at the story of two twins whose father is, unfortunately, an alcoholic. One becomes homeless, the other a lawyer. The following question is asked to each of them. Why are you in this situation today? Both twins answered the same thing. My father was an alcoholic. One drew strength from it, the other weakness. Learn to draw strength from everything that happens to you. Tell yourself that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Always try to have a positive vision, a positive approach, or figure out how to improve a given situation. It's a mindset that pays off in the long term, undeniably. You got a ticket and have to pay 90 euros. Fine. You can't change anything anymore. You played, you lost. Be a good sport. Try to see how you can earn 130 euros to compensate. Always try to find a palliative, envision a solution to bounce back. Have a plan B and act with drive, not as a victim. Never react immediately and negatively to events. They happened. We can't change that. The only thing we can do at that moment is to step back, control ourselves, and change our reaction to come out stronger. Every situation contains a lesson. So don't react on impulse. If you use the time between the event and your reaction to your advantage, you will then perceive the lesson contained in this uncomfortable situation. Emotions are deceptive. They can often make you do things you regret later, don't they? Meditating, walking, pulling yourself together by keeping things in perspective are all ways that will allow you not to speak solely with your raw emotions, with flawed judgment. Next time you face a negative event, think about all this. Don't react immediately. Learn to draw a benefit from every situation, and then you will progress by leaps and bounds. You will grow. It is up to you to control your life, not your emotions. Day 8. Learning to manage your personal finances. Money is important for various reasons. First of all, it is essential to stop demonizing it if you wish to attract it. Having a bad perception of those seeking to earn more is not a judgment that will help you have an attractive relationship with money. On the other hand, if you accept that these people are open to the potential offered to us, then you will open your perception, and your negative judgment will vanish, leaving room for the feeling that life is opportunity. A supportive feeling that will awaken you. Money is neither dirty nor clean. Money is an energy. Knowing how to manage your finances is important. Even if a difficult relationship with money, perhaps inherited from family values, is present. The success of personalities like Bill Gates or Larry Ellison, CEO of Oracle, creates rejection in some people. Personally, we find their journeys very respectable and congratulate them again for having been able to bring out incredibly constructive ideas from within themselves, accepting that some people have succeeded better than you allows you to reject that feeling of frustration, which ultimately would only castrate and annihilate all your chances of one day making a professional quantum leap. Be a good sport. Love those who succeed. Your vision of money will expand. Make money work for you, not the other way around, is a very representative phrase of the relationship to have with money. Here are some essential basics to start building your wealth logically. Other advice will be necessary if you are a novice in the field. Step 1, create a precautionary fund to deal with unforeseen events. An available account like a French livret A with guaranteed return is perfect for this. Its ceiling is 15,300 euros. The amount of this precautionary savings varies according to needs and family situations, but it is advisable to have at least about 6 months' salary in advance to be able to react to an unforeseen event, job loss, physical or material accident. Step 2, invest. A precept 3,000 years old advises us to save 10% of everything we earn. Decide to invest 10 to 20% of your salary in an area you understand with a much higher return than modest standard accounts like savings accounts. Real solutions exist in sectors like real estate or life insurance. Here again, good advice is necessary to avoid doing anything foolish. Diversifying investment sources to minimize risk is the strategy par excellence. The old adage we all know, don't put all your eggs in one basket, still resonates in the minds of those who didn't follow it. If you are regular, disciplined, and well advised, you might even be surprised by the result obtained in 10 years. The earlier you start, the more you gain thanks to the magic of compound interest. Start as soon as possible. That's wise advice. If your goal is to be financially independent in 20 years, learning about the means will be the first step of a journey I wish for you to be exciting and driven by your ability to commit wholeheartedly, more aggressively. If you have this magnificent goal, much reading, notably biographies of people who have succeeded tremendously, will be very useful for you to perceive and understand the mindset necessary for this ultimate goal. If you want to invest in real estate, you can start with a parking space, an idea I invite you to explore. Day 9. How to be certain of reaching your goal asterisk. If you want to change and succeed, immediately arm yourself with determination. How to define determination? we could define it as the ability to have that necessary strength to never give up, to see things through, all the time, every moment, in every area of your life. Isn't it worth that commitment every moment? Tennis player Rafael Nadal or extreme adventurer Mike Horn are excellent ambassadors of what can be called the virtue of those who make the difference. Do you possess it, or did you use it in your youth? Find that supportive feeling and that winner's soul you had as a child when you didn't want to lose a match or a fight, and adapt it to your current and future environment. You will discover resources untapped until now. You must make a deal with yourself, committing to never stop until you have accomplished what you decided to do. Determination can also mean never letting yourself be swayed by others. Understand, you have certainly experienced this kind of experience. Loved ones didn't support you in a project you saw as a must for you. Your inner circle only means well for you. They want to protect you. So it's normal for them to advise you against doing something they're not used to seeing you do. The opinion of your inner circle is certainly the least objective advice you can receive. Don't take it into account. Instead, visit a professional or a friend of a friend who doesn't know you. You can then get a more detailed opinion on your project. Achieving your dreams requires this determination that means nothing, and no one can influence the final result, because you alone are at the helm of your life. Do you know the story of Sylvester Stallone? At one point in his life, he was broke. He even had to sell his dog, an 8-year companion, to feed himself. In his car, which also served as his home, he wrote the script for Rocky and offered it to about 40 producers. The last one he visited offered him $35,000. Stallone wanted to play the lead role in his film. The producer refused. Stallone preferred to continue his search. The next day, the hesitant producer from the day before came back and offered him a much larger sum. He went up to $350,000 for Stallone not to act in his film. His friends got excited and advised Sylvester to accept. This attractive offer might never come again, but Stallone, to everyone's surprise, refused. The producer, surprised to be dealing with someone so determined, accepted, out of respect, the initial deal. Stallone asked to receive half of the film's revenue. The producer, certain this future flop wouldn't earn him much, accepted and let Rocky Balboa become the idol we know today through its creator. Stallone's determination was was the crucial point of his story. Therefore, I recommend you watch the excellent film with Will Smith, The Pursuit of Happiness. Day 10. Some secrets to acquire self-confidence. Today, let's address an important module. It is undoubtedly the most important, since it is the engine of your ability to do, to launch, to act. This module is confidence, an inalienable self-confidence. In many sectors, such as seduction, confidence is paramount. You have certainly already noticed those men, physically not very advantaged, succeeding in seducing strikingly beautiful women, when a priori they had no chance. Their undeniable particularity lies in their self-confidence, an extreme confidence in this area, at least. From the moment you wish to succeed, faith is necessary. Believe in yourself and in your ability to create, because others won't always believe in you. Thinking, everything is possible for me, is accessible from the moment you know it, from the moment you are convinced of it. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right, said Henry Ford. This sentence will resonate within you every time you doubt or hesitate to do something. You are more likely to succeed in an action if you feel capable. That's obvious. Unfortunately, some of us have blockages, often stemming from our past. Understanding and annihilating these blockages, often deeply rooted, is necessary to go beyond your fears and succeed in the accomplishments of an optimized life, a successful life. Generally, we have our preferred areas, those in which we feel comfortable, confident. We propose that you work on the areas that block you during the coming month by doing 3 actions that embarrass you. This process will allow you to step out of your comfort zone, i.e., exit the perimeter where you feel safe, and discover another part of yourself previously unknown. For example, if you are afraid to speak to strangers, take the bull by the horns and do it 3 times within a set time, and repeat. The fact of repeating is not an action here to make you suffer, but rather a repetition that will allow you to get used to the idea of approaching people without it seeming like a challenge to overcome. The fear of looking ridiculous haunts you. That's normal. But tell yourself that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and that ridicule doesn't kill. Therefore, ridicule makes you stronger. Self-persuade by saying, "Be brave, do it, come on, do it." Before taking action, think back to a reference moment when you had full self-confidence, during which you accomplished that thing that seemed so complicated at first. Don't think too much, act. The answer lies in action. Repeat to yourself, Who dares wins. Who dares wins. Who dares wins. Who dares wins. As with any new accomplishment, the first time is often terrifying, like, for example, jumping from 10 meters high in canyoning. Charles had this experience, which taught him a lot about himself and how to tame that paralyzing fear. Action is the answer, and only action. Then, with self-mockery, you realize you were getting blocked over not much after all. We have grown because we overcame a fear. We dominated it. We took the measure of accomplishment. During this month, commit to doing at least 3 actions that go against a fear in an area where your confidence is not at its peak. Train yourself to anchor this mindset within you and repeat again. Being alone is not an obligation. You can create a game with a friend, a true friend, someone who won't judge you and therefore won't tarnish your self-confidence if you fail. Failure is part of success, undeniably. Never forget, he who wants nothing to do finds an excuse. He who wants to do something finds a way. So you have no excuse. Forward. Day 11. You too learn to truly live in the present moment. You know, as we do, that we don't live in the future. Living in the present moment is essential for achieving a life of dreams. To fully enjoy each moment, planning is a technique that allows you to free yourself from having to think about what you need to do tomorrow or the day after. Anticipation is much more comfortable than reaction. You are living today, so enjoy each day as if it were your last. In the film The Bucket List, which we recommend, Morgan Freeman shows us exactly what not to do. It's very interesting. Life is meant to be lived. You will easily agree. Start right now by doing the things you have always wanted to do to never have any regrets. Give yourself the means to live fully. Don't wait. Time passes at the same speed for everyone, whether rich or poor. It would be stupid, the day before you die, to realize that you missed out on this unique life offered to us. This exceptional chance, we all have to enjoy this reality we create every moment and this world of abundance. Do you want to live in good health? Yes. Then pay attention to your diet and allow yourself pleasures from time to time. Do you want to become financially independent? Then invest your money and allow yourself pleasures from time to time, having defined a precise budget for it. We don't know what life has in store for us, and it would be a shame to completely deprive ourselves of the good things the world offers. However, the notions of happiness and pleasure are very different. Pleasure gives you a fleeting, punctual, and often explosive sensation, while happiness resides within you, deep inside, over time. Happiness is a question of philosophical viewpoint. It does not depend on the accumulation of material goods like pleasure can. It's a feeling. Rediscover pleasure in simple things like a bike ride on a sunny day, going to meet elderly people in your town or village to share conversations that will surely enlighten you about things you don't know, walking slowly alone or accompanied on a country path. In our time, people complain easily about everything and nothing. If you had the chance to be born in a country offering you a relatively pleasant life compared to others less fortunate, appreciate it. Really, step back from each of your days and see how you can enjoy, how you can optimize your life and fall asleep with the pleasant feeling of having given your best every single day. Try to see a ray of sunshine in everything. Laughing every day has been proven to be beneficial for living better. Take time to listen to comedy sketches. Hang out with friends or future friends with whom laughter comes easily. Think back to funny situations you've experienced. There are, moreover, courses that explain why you need to force yourself to laugh and how to do it. You will see that by fully enjoying, doors open for you. So let's cultivate this joy daily, not just when insert your excuse here. Day 12. How to avoid feeling like you're regressing. Learn and never stop learning in all areas. Here is a piece of advice that is also close to my heart. Our society has instilled values and benchmarks in us that are evolving today. Having a degree is no longer synonymous with job security. Unfortunately, many people realize this reality and don't have the reflex to look elsewhere, to train in something else, to think bigger to bounce back. They insist and persevere, which, it must be said, is not a flaw in sectors that are, most of the time, saturated. Give yourself the means to offer yourself a different future from the one you were always promised, and which ultimately isn't materializing. Self-taught people have the advantage of not having undergone complete formal training, and because of this, have been able to keep that curious, childlike mindset, openness to the opportunities our society offers us every day. They often succeed very successfully and act more easily than an overqualified person who will ask themselves 10,000 questions before validating such and such a project to finally launch one fine day. Fear in their belly, only to fail. Yes, being too smart can be a handicap, very well you are not a finished product for all that, are you? Life is meant for learning, the wise will tell you, or you will read it in their works. The human being is designed to learn throughout their life, maintaining that mental health that allows them to possess that necessary physical health. It has been scientifically proven brain inactivity is the primary cause of Alzheimer's disease and depression. Invest in yourself. It will undoubtedly be the most profitable investment you could ever make in your life. Treat yourself to training in areas that attract you, or complementary training to improve yourself. Learn new skills to discover yourself. Learn about yourself. We dare to imagine that if you subscribe to this list, it's because you like to learn, isn't it? Blogging, personal development, finance, and it are areas in which we, personally, never stop wanting to learn. Business creation and human psychology are also subjects we are passionate about, as are languages, chess, martial arts, cooking. As with everything, you just need to take the first step. Get stronger. The hardest part is going to a gym and getting a membership to learn to swim. You just need to jump in the water and to eat fresh green vegetables. You just need to buy them at the market and prepare them before they expire in your refrigerator. If your wish is to advance within your company, train in marketing, project management. If becoming an excellent speaker is part of your dreams, do Toastmasters. Instead of watching television in the evening, train yourself. Take 30 minutes of TV time to read and become an expert instead of watching it. Negotiate success with yourself. Day 13. The most useful thing you can do for yourself. Here is the last day to change or significantly improve your life. This day is very important, perhaps the most important of your life. Who knows? It will directly determine your success. It's about taking action. Note, this advice is obsolete if you do not apply it, and this applies to all the previous ones. Taking action is not easy. Laziness can be an obstacle, as it can be for the majority of us, as can the fear of change. The difference will happen right here, at this moment. Do you have the ability to break out of your routine and discover all the gifts hidden within you that are just waiting to be opened? The difference between a successful person and an average person happens at this precise moment. Act to progress or stagnate to diminish. The very shy person doesn't become a seducer by staying in their corner. The poor person doesn't become rich by feeling sorry for themselves. You have read and discovered many tips that have all been used by others before you. So I ask you to apply each tip you deemed good for yourself. Apply them immediately, otherwise, to our great regret, you never will. We even challenge you that you are not capable of getting moving, that you are not capable of envisioning a different future from the one promised to you by those who think for you, or of visualizing that future you deserve so much but are afraid to face. We challenge you to give yourself, here and now, the chance to see differently, to step into a luminous breach, to open up and discover the fireworks display you truly deserve. And that awaits you with open arms. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for a loved one. It is in moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Anthony Robbins. Summary. After writing your goals precisely, day 1, make an action plan and act. What matters is not what you know, but what you do with what you know. It's very different. In summary, without action, you will not succeed, even if you have all the best advice in the world, the perfect theory. We can theoretically know how to repair a car, know all the mechanics perfectly. If we don't get our hands dirty, there's no chance it will move from its immobility. With life, it's the same. At this moment, you already have very good initial basics to significantly improve your quality of life, or even radically change your life. Do not hesitate to write to me in the comments to let me know your thoughts, your progress, your goals, your new choices, or your new life.